All right, everybody. Episode 15. I have a dad, an American dad with us. We're going to have a good time. We're going to dig into some father stuff here. And we're going to be chilling. So, you guys know how it goes when we're here on the People and Podcast.
Thanks for having me, Pat.
Yeah, there it is. All right, so, all right, let's get into it. I have with me today a friend of mine, Noel, who really has been super supportive of the show, likes, thanks, shares, everything. And he's also one of the kindest guys I've met in my last 10, 20 years of my life. The mission of the podcast here is to build greater men, to have a place to talk and get some understanding of things. So I want to introduce you to Noel. Noel, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you all.
So Noel, he's a dad. He became a dad at a younger age, and he's had to navigate some of the things that a lot of you men at home might have had to navigate, as far as having women or having kids out of wedlock, and having to navigate being a dad outside of being in a nuclear family. So Noel, I know that's the situation you're in here. I kind of want to start by saying, when you think about, actually, let's start fresh here. Noel, tell them a little bit about yourself. Just give a little background information.
Sure.
Tell them who you are.
All right. So I'm now 38, going to be 39 November. When I had my kid, when my baby mama had her kid, maybe I was 23. So it came at a young age of, I wish I was in a different spot now than I was then, or then now, vice versa. I would go back and change things, but that's where we're at with that.
So you became a father kind of before you were, ready.
Basically, yeah.
And obviously I wasn't ready a long time in my life. I was basically 40.
No time is ever the right time, in my opinion, but it happened to be a little bit earlier for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you were there, so I won't be able to touch on this because I wasn't that young when I had children. I'm obviously in an older end, like 40 when I had mine, or late 30s. What was there a shock and awe period, when you realized you were going to be a dad at that young of an age? Were you prepared? Did you plan it?
Oh, do you want to hear the story of how I found out?
Sure. Let's do it. Yeah.
So, when Halo Reach came out, it was Probably September of 2010.
Okay.
My son's mom was just "No, I need to tell you something important." And then I didn't really take it seriously. I was really focusing on playing the game, selfish as I was at that time.
Yeah.
And I was playing the game on Legendary, so it'd take time to play the level. So I was when this level's done, you can tell me whatever you need to tell me. Again, at that time, maybe I was 22. All right. So it got to the point that I'm playing the game on the hardest difficulty. So it's it was really hard to not now. I'm trying to get. Let me get through this, and then we can talk about it. Took longer than I expected. So she lost her patience, and eventually I put the game on pause. And I was just "What's up, Christina?" And then she was just I'm pregnant. And all due to respect to her, nothing against her, but at that time I was young. I just kind of I was what? And then I didn't say anything, but I unpaused it and I played the rest of the game, the rest of the level, which was an hour and a half later. And I'm just when the level was done, I was just what? But then we were both excited that I accepted it. I was all right, we're having a baby, we're going to do this, but I was shocked at that present moment.
That you couldn't even soak in the reality.
It was just literally whoa. Let me just. So then wait, what?
Yeah, this is kind of a good perspective because I think this happens to a lot of guys.
Yeah.
like me, I was planning on getting my wife, pregnant, but like I've seen it happen to a lot of peers where like you're living your life and the shock of finding out you're a parent and like being the guy you are, like in the lifestyle you are, in the routine you are, like you're saying, playing the game.
Yeah.
You're in there and it's like, you can't even like, it's not even like sinking in the reality of the situation. Right.
Yeah.
So, would you think about that differently now? Like I just found out I'm going to be a dad and I'm going to spend an hour playing a fucking video game.
I think at that time I could have took it more seriously.
Yeah.
In my perspective. But I think, it's not like I was against it or anything. I kind of pretty much was like, all right, we're having a baby because, at that time, I thought maybe her and I would be together forever, which could have been if I didn't be uncaring, I guess. Because a lot of it was, I messed up, like on not doing what was right and taking care of the situation. So.
Well, I think I had those thoughts like for many years. That's why I like thankfully didn't get a lot of women pregnant, or I didn't even like let myself have the opportunity to do that, because I knew I was like where you were at 22, like thinking I'm going to be like, I'm not ready for this. Like, I don't want to take on this responsibility. And I think that's become like a common theme, like inside of America and inside of men lately, where in the earlier, like I guess the olden times or whatever, the responsibility of fatherhood was kind of sought after, where now in the modern time, I think the responsibility of fatherhood is kind of like ran from.
Right.
And I think that maybe because a lot of people come from broken homes, or maybe because the moral code and moral compass of our society has kind of like maybe been drowned out a bit. But I could definitely see like myself being that way, and I was a little more conscious of it. I would have been like, I'm a piece of shit. I'm gonna fucking drink beers and play games and like do whatever.
Right.
But like, you now are a different person.
Definitely a different person.
So like, could you picture yourself getting that news and not putting the game down?
I think if I had to put it in perspective now,
that
I would take it more seriously. Say if I can go back 7 years, I would be like, I wish I had this mentality then. Because I saw that young mentality then of like, didn't care, didn't know what to, is this serious or not? I didn't think any of it was like serious,
it takes a while for it to sink in. I totally understand that.
Right.
So, like the word serious is a good word. And I think people toss that around a lot, like, oh, this is serious. And then it's like a joke thing. But like, the responsibility of being a father and a parent, it's a serious task. And I think a lot of men fall into the same like position you were in at that time. Like, you're not taking it seriously. Like, you didn't have your life set up. Like, you weren't like fully committed to the woman.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot of these things that like are factors inside of this situation.
Yep.
And we don't really have a guidebook for something like that.
Exactly. And then, you got your friends or family that tries to guide you, but you might not be on the same page or get what they're trying to put out to you.
Yeah. It's that statement that say, oh, you'll understand when you get older. But when people tell you that when you're younger, you're like, fuck you, I get it.
Unfortunately.
And then you get older and you're like, shit.
You gotta learn the hard way or just learn as you go. That's pretty much how I did it. It was a roller coaster.
So you said 7 years ago, and your kid's what, like 15 now? Or
now he's 15.
So it took you like 7 years to what, like really, like
I would say, okay, if I'm 38, maybe at the age of 32,
okay,
I kind of just maybe the light bulb finally fucking lit. You know, to being like, oh wow, I wish I knew what I know like now. Then.
So, and the problem with that, I think, is a lot of us face that. And some men will say, I've already fucked up 7 years.
Yeah.
I can't fix it.
Right.
What made you decide to make a change and start to try to fix and balance your thought process on your child, your thought process on your relationship? Like what are your thoughts on that?
I just think I didn't want to be in a position of, say, like having problems with the other party, like my son's mom or the stepdad. There was a lot of turbulence the whole entire time, but it got to the point that it was just like, this is for the child. And a lot of it I messed up on, and big learning spiral for me. Even like, say, my son's stepdad, he would be like, what are you doing? And he wasn't wrong. And
but it's hard to take that like, some other fucking guy's telling me.
but I know him well enough to be like, you know what, you're right. What am I doing? Because he's a little bit older than me, so he's already seen maybe his friends or family getting the same treatment. Like, he knows. And at the end of the day, it's just more like, I respect both of them because they're really good parents to my son. And even if I went down, I saw what was important, and I came back up to try to make it right because we have a child to raise.
You're kind of very lucky that you caught it early enough that you could even make the attempt to make that better.
Right.
But going back to what you said earlier, is like that first 7 years wasted. I think it's a lot of problem that us men have is an ego issue.
Yeah.
So we're focused on like, battling with the woman and like, being like, oh, you did this and I did that. And like, I think it's still a self-centered thought process where in order to like truly be like a better parent and a better part of your kid's life, you have to drop like a whole part of you. You have to like shave off like part of you that's been part of you forever. And maybe that part of you like helped you navigate other situations and do everything else, but to truly be like naked to where you are in the world and to give it up for your child is a huge thing to do. You got to tear your character apart.
Right.
So like, obviously you started to make a decision somewhere. Like, were you like cognitive, like, fuck, I got to like shed myself? Like, was that a thing? Like,
no, I mean, I went to a period of my life that I guess maybe it was because of the job or working 2 jobs because I had to make ends meet. Excuse me, with like, say, with bills. I didn't have a good paying job at the time, so it's like it made it rough on me to kind of like that falls on like, it's hard to explain. Morning, like I had to work 2 jobs for like, say, 10 years.
Correct.
So it's like a full-time and a part-time, just to like not say just child support, but just to make my bills and stuff. So like that has a factor in my livelihood.
Of course it does. I think exactly what you're talking about is how a lot of men get defeated.
Yeah.
So they're just starting to get on their feet. They got a kid and now they're getting hammered with child support. Now they're getting like hit with trying to survive on their own. And it's like the whole world's coming at you and you can't make enough income to like, to like get your, even your feet on the ground.
Right.
So I seen that a million times. And like, I was in that position early on with the thing, but I had to have a fuck you button. Like, you know what I mean? Like to switch it. And because a lot of guys will get stuck and they'll say, I'm working, like, don't know disrespect to McDonald's. I work there, but like,
that's okay.
You're in that job and that money factor. And one of the things we try to do with this show is like, even if you work at fucking McDonald's, be the fucking best guy there and then get your money up and then you're the manager and then you run the store and then you could take care of your family.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. But a lot of guys, I know a shit ton of men that aren't taking care of their kids, friends of mine, peers of mine, and they'll just say, well, this is what it is. And there's no drive or ambition. And it just becomes like a cycle of bitching.
I gotta put it this way. It's like, I have a kid, right? I know I have to support him. I know I got to pay child support whether I'm with his mom or not.
Yeah.
I have to support him. But it has to be like, reasonable because it's like we all have bills to pay and whatever. And it could be tough at times, especially if you have a crappy job. So it's like now I'm in a better position than I was a few years ago, different job. So it's like, okay, now everything's kind of smoothing out and we're civil, because in the beginning it was rocky with the girlfriend. Like, when we break up, it's going to be turbulent
Every time.
And it was turbulent for a while. And then it gets to the point that, what are we fighting about? And then it's like, maybe it's just me because I was upset, because she probably didn't,
Yeah, everybody has emotions.
At that point, hey, listen, I didn't know how to take it. And it could have been worse. It could have been bad. It could have been, who knows? But I got to the point that everything's okay.
Yeah.
But it took a long time to get to that point.
Yeah. It's like where you get to a cruise control point.
Yeah.
And then I think a weird thing that happens, which I've seen, is now you're at the cruise control point, and you can either stay on cruise control or you become more active dad. Now, guys who want to be more active, now you're running into the hurdle of you have a wall.
Yeah.
Legally or
from
the woman and the family, like we're a wall for that. So I'm sure you've faced those hurdles. Like, it's one of the things that sucks about the family dynamic in America is that if a guy does want to be more involved, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be with the woman. And if you try to like go out there and aggressively pursue more time and more things, one, the kid's going to see you obviously battling with the parent. Is that outweigh like when you win and get more time with them? So like there's a whole mental fuck going on.
What was good about my situation was that my son was a younger age, so he was kind of like, say, born into it.
Okay.
So like he doesn't have to see mommy and daddy fighting, because he's not going to see all that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some moments maybe, but the major part of it, he didn't see it. So it wasn't like toxic for him, or be like, this is how it is with mommy and daddy. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, I think that plays a different role. Yeah. But also, on the same flip side, is like, is your kid missing parts of you because you had to live that way? You think? Like,
actually, like it.
Like I don't know, because I didn't live it like you did.
I hear you, dude. And every situation's different. I know, like, say this person's situation is different, your situation is different, his situation, her situation, whatever, right? If I can explain it better, is now at this point he's 15, so it's like door's always open. FaceTime me, call me, even when I dropped him off early today. Call me if you need anything. But when he was younger, didn't understand all that. It was more harder for me to explain that to him because he doesn't really understand.
Mm-hmm.
But now that he's an older age, it's a little bit more easier to navigate everything because now he understands too. But he was basically more born into it, so it probably wouldn't affect him compared to other people. Say he's 10 and then we left,
which is like more my case. So like even though my father was very fucked up towards me, like the just automatic disappearance, and then like you're 10 and your dad don't talk to you for like 4 years. It's like a wacky thing. Yeah. So I mean, at least in my mind, you're playing a more important role in that aspect.
It's funny that you say that, Pat, because I always tell him, I'm like, no, like, it is what it is. I'm always going to be in your life, because I'm sure people that have dads or moms that are not part of their life. Mostly it's the dad, but some kids don't have a mom, whatever, right? So I always tell them that, like, I'm in your life. I know, like, I can be better. I can be, there's times I can be better, best. It could be bad. I'm like, listen, you're only with me for, like, put in perspective, like, okay, he's with me Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but it's really only like maybe 2 days out of 3. Yeah, if you put the time slots right. Just make the best of it. There's going to be times that you're not going to want to be with me. There's going to be times you want to be with me. There's going to be times that you're bored or you're sad, or, I mean, it's going to happen. But, like, just make the best of it, and then you're back home again, that type of thing
So
too.
let me.
You know?
That's a very good thing to think about. So like, is there a way? And you think because there's a lot of split families like in America now,
Mm-hmm.
is there a way that men and even mothers could like instill and portray the importance of being with the other parent when they're not there? Because the same thing you're talking about, like I see kids, I'm bored with daddy, I don't want to be there. Like you're in a
Right.
different neighborhood, so their friends aren't there. And the more you try to be involved, like because they're involved in their lives, you become more of a burden. And it's like, Dad, you're stopping me from like hanging out with Susie, and like like how do you navigate that? Like,
in my perspective on that, how I see it, because everyone's different how they see things, is I was there for the most important stuff, or at least try to be. Like it could be sports thing. He played soccer, so it's like I was there almost most of the soccer thing. He did play football. I saw some of it, didn't see all of it. But he understands. He's not mad at me or anything like that. But it's more like it's an open door. It's an open door to myself.
I get what you're saying. You're saying you're available, but you're talking about like sports and interaction, and I think this is like how am I going to word this the right way? So like as men, is it like you have to come to a place of acceptance, and 9 out of 10 times it's the men that have to come to a place of acceptance of the role they're taking in their child's lives because of the way the legal structure's set up, and they got to be with the mom, and
right.
they're in their
I mean, like again, in the beginning, it was rocky. Don't get me wrong; there was a lot of turbulence along the way of saying this or that, or court modifications, or.
But that's what I'm saying. So like, you have to accept the fact you can't show up on a Wednesday and pick your kid up unless your relationship's cool with the woman.
Yeah,
but legally, like they could be like, no.
Yeah.
Like how?
Yeah.
I would fucking burn the building.
I know.
Like,
I mean, I can say like a whole lot on different levels, but maybe at the time, maybe I wasn't in the right place of mind to be able to do it,
to attack that situation.
Yeah. If I ask her and she says no, maybe at that time I'm like, what the hell? But I mean, now I think the way things are now, because it was a long, turbulent road, that if I can say, hey, can I have him on Wednesday? Or after school, just pick him up and get some pizza. I mean, she'll say yeah.
So you've had to work on developing that relationship with her in order for you to have more access to your child.
Yeah, and you know what?
I mean, but that says a lot about your character because you did the things necessary to navigate the situation.
There's a few times I didn't do things right.
None of us do. None of us
and
perfect.
I could have lost him because I wasn't doing what was right, because I just lost total control of myself.
Yeah.
And then it affects not just say him, it affects her. It affects the whole family.
There's ripple effects.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's ripple effects to our actions. Yeah.
And then meanwhile, I'm saying there's nothing wrong with me. No, I wasn't doing what was right, dude.
We're fucked up. Yeah, there is. There's something wrong with us. Yeah, all of us.
I know there's other situation with, the moms and dads always fighting, but you got to look at it and go, what are we even fighting about? We are beating a dead horse.
Yeah, and again, you're focusing on you and her rather than the most important piece.
Yeah. It got to the point that it was a lot of back and forth in the beginning, in the earlier stages of the breakup or whatever. But like, at the end of the day, it's like, is he okay? It's at the end of the day, it's just about your kid.
Yeah.
And I'm not a perfect person.
No one is.
And
Only
I'm
Jesus,
still,
baby.
And I'm
That's
still
it.
not. And I mean, myself, I came a long way because, she's a great mom. He has a great stepdad. Nothing bad to say there. But I wish I was able to do better in my earlier ages.
Yeah.
Taking care of
But hey, we live and we learn.
Yes.
But like I've been with women who I basically weren't married, but I was like a stepdad to. And I wasn't in my best mind state, but I always had, my heart was there to try to help and protect.
Yeah.
So, and I guess in a way, after you get through like the ego and the separation, like now you can kind of be thankful for the situation he's in with the other man that's in his life? Like, is that?
I would have to say this whole thing happens to be a yin yang for me.
Okay.
That out of some bad, there was some good.
Yeah.
Even either it could be any level of anything, like say meeting friends, getting a new job. There was a lot of, if this didn't happen, that would have happened. If that didn't happen, this would have not happened. So in a way that at this point in my time, even though it's like, okay, I'm 38, we broke up when I was 25. It's been, I can't really do the good math.
That's a long time.
But say it's 12 years or some crap, right? So it's like, to me, I feel like maybe it was meant to be, even though I still kind of, I'm very traumatized by a lot of things, but at the same time, I'm like, wow. If like, I'm actually like, I would have never, like, I have a good friends, Brian, Amanda. If this never happened, I would have never met these people. And, you know, they're not like, you know, they're really good friends. And if I didn't have that extra time to go out and mingle, that this would have never happened. That's just an example. There's other things that go into this, but there's a lot of good that came out of bad. And
I think that's
years
beautiful.
later.
So I'm big on the Jesus guy, and I'm big on God's got a plan for us. I don't know if you feel the same way about that, but like, you know, we were talking about like my house, like getting broke into and robbed and all that. And at the time, you could be all dire about it, but it leads you to like a brighter path, a brighter road if you have acceptance.
You see things in different ways as time goes on. Now I look back, I look at things now that I haven't seen. Like I look at things now that I wish at 23 I saw it.
I know. Hindsight's 2020. It's like, if I could have a fucking time machine and go back here, like, I
wish, in my honest opinion, and I know it's fine because everything is the way it is, that I'd go back and be like, why couldn't I just done the right thing? Or
I know.
Say, help her more. I messed that up, Pat. You know what I'm saying?
So this is the point. This is the whole point of this podcast. What you just nailed on right now. And this is what we want you guys to like try to figure out at home. This is kind of like the mission. We don't want to have that regret. So if there is anything we can put out to the world, the whole point of like even like this episode is to be able to have men not fall into the pitfalls and make the mistakes where they have those wishes and thoughts that they could go back. But again, on the brighter side, like he's saying, maybe it leads to something good. Maybe it is. God has an own plan. But I really think that if we took more accountability within ourselves, but I don't think there's like a culture for that, like around us. Yeah. So like, how do we do what we're doing now? How does Noel and how do I stop the next 23-year-old guy from doing what you're doing? Like where do we? How do we approach that?
You know what it is? Like I think everyone's different. There's some 23-year-olds that act like 40-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Like they're already on
that act like
they're already on their they're already on the right path, but you're at a young age, you just want to say go out, not even say drinking. You're not taking things seriously, and you just want to go out and have fun. Meanwhile, you have a child to take care of.
You're picking up a video game rather than fucking take it seriously.
That or going to a friend's house when I should have stayed home and took care of what mattered the most. My mind wasn't there at the moment.
Yeah. So I get that. So I mean, and I was there too. Like we're doing the podcast now. My kids are upstairs, and I'm like, I'm maybe I'm missing time with my kids, but the goal for this is to build it so I can be with them more. But again, you can't possibly balance and take on everything and do it all perfectly. So there's gonna be shortfalls. There's gonna be things you miss. There's gonna be something you lean on more. But I think there's an underlying like mental perspective to this that I hope we can hit you guys at home with.
I'll try my best to.
Is try to slow down when you're 22, which is hard to ask a fucking hopped up young dude. I was a lunatic, but like, because I didn't have any examples in my life. Like, I'm kind of my own example because I don't want my kids to do what happened to me.
Right.
And like, you're probably thinking the same thing. That's why you're mentioning it. And you could have been a better man. I could have been a better man
At
to
that
some of my
time,
previous girlfriends, the previous.
I was acting like a 22 or 23-year-old.
I know, but like, if you go back 100 years, guys were having babies at 15, 14. Like, how do we get back to like a moral compass? How do we get back to where it's a conversation that men are having with younger men that say, hey, don't be a dick. This is serious. Like, pay attention to it. I know it's hard because I can remember being 22. Like, I'm not going to listen to this guy.
Right.
But how do we create a culture of where, like, or at least attempt to help the younger men's mind states be more in tune with the seriousness of the like you said, the seriousness of what's going on.
What is like in
with
my
children.
In my perspective, I think it's not even about the child. It's more about who you're with, that you're, that upset or mad that you don't want to see them go. So there's a lot like of turbulence or toxic situation between you and the other partner because like they don't want to be with you anymore. And I was like totally heartbroken for a long time. Even if she knows that or not, that it really messed me up. I'm still messed up. I'm not like
none of us are okay.
But now that I'm older, I can be like, you know what? You learn. But I really got slapped in the face. But
this is the burden of the men that no one's talking about.
Yeah.
So even though we weren't making the mistakes, we can go back and reflect on it and try to do the right things. And once we're heartbroken, we don't got nobody to bitch to.
But that's the thing. Like, yes, we have a child together, but I was still seriously still in love with this girl, right? But and to be completely shut off, and then whatever happened, respectfully, I didn't even know how to take it, and even at that time, I went through a downward spiral. Even say 5 years after that, still like, all right, I'm doing better, but. I had friends going like, Noel, you're not being yourself. Not the Noel I know. Like, used to, put music on, you dance. Now you just don't like.
Well, because I
didn't want to like start like having like I had a hard time just being around people for a long time.
I say that all the time now, like being around people. But I think what you're nailing on is the guys that you think know you don't really know you. Because it mattered to you what was going on with your kid, and it mattered to you what's going on in your relationship, and they want you to sing and play songs.
I'm misunderstood. I can just tell you that right now. Like, whoever knows me, it's like knows me personally, they know me, but like people that don't know me, it takes them a little bit of time to understand me, but I'm misunderstood.
Yeah,
maybe they don't understand. I always tell friends like, you just had a kid? Okay, well, maybe in like, say, 5 years, you can come back and say, well, now I understand where you're coming from and stuff like that. Like, because they don't understand. Some people just don't understand.
No, you're nailing it. But how do we bridge that gap? I mean, I'm asking you to solve the universe's problems, but like, it's like.
No, I mean, these are good questions. And it's like, I've seen people like, they're on the phone, like, but they're, baby mama, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, stop doing that.
The fighting.
Just don't do that. Like, and the guy, like, what are you trying to prove? It's not going anywhere. It's not going to solve.
It's a useless cause.
It's not going to go in reverse. It's done. Either he or she doesn't want to get back with you. What are you fighting for?
It's a futile purpose.
At the end of the day, you have a child together. And we got to take care of this child,
and we have to do it in whatever parameters are set around us. I think that's a very good response. Yeah. So, like, the point being is, I've seen those guys. They're yelling to be like, they're just perpetuating an argument for
even
nothing.
In the courtroom, they're yelling at like,
oh, you took my Nikes, and you went over to Peter's house. It's like none of this matters anymore. There's a kid, but why? Why do you think a lot of guys do that?
Because I think they want to get still be with the other person. They're heartbroken.
Oh, I think that's true because a lot of us they really say that like men are like the really like in love type of guys, and the women will like the brightest star in the room.
What it
the
is?
Grass is greener type of deal.
It's one of those things. It's like say the tables turned, right? Like I got heartbroken, right? But like say the tables turned and I did that to her. You know what I'm saying? Which in my case it's not like that. Most cases it's not like that. Most cases the guy wasn't taking care of their part, where their role.
Yeah. We could be wrong as men a lot of the time.
Boyfriend, fiance, husband, whatever the role might be. I didn't play the role that I was supposed to play at that time. So if anything, I should be mad at myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then
that's it.
And then, like I said, in the beginning, there was a lot of like going back and forth, but for what?
It's useless.
Like
that's our egos.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's for what? For what are we doing it for? But it takes it. Like I'm a victim of that shit, fighting with exes and doing all that. But like you said, when it's over, it's over.
Yeah.
But like that's part of like the human element of it, where we're like trying to hold on. Like, dude, like you said, it's over. It's over. You're not getting back with the girl, by fighting with her and adding more shit to it, it's not going to make it better.
That's because you're angry at the situation.
Yeah.
And either she's angry too or not.
But here's the thing that I think we got a nail on, and I think you've hit it pretty precisely, is the fact that like we men, in order to make these situations better, have to like wake up and start taking the accountability within ourselves sooner.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, I'm arguing with her. I'm trying to make my kid's life better. I'm fucking worried about me and like I want to be with her because I'm lonely. And that's what I'm focused on rather than like taking care of my kid. And then like I'm worried about like she disrespected me and I got to be a man and powerful and I got to yell at her and then I'm not taking care of my kid.
You know what it is, Pat?
You know what I'm saying though?
It's more like, don't get me wrong here. Like I loved her and then one day she's gone.
But you're coming to terms with the fact that you played a role in that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because if I took things seriously, I mean, who knows if we'd still be together today. But if I took things more seriously, say, helped her out with the baby.
You would have had a better shot at what you
helped her out with the baby, just stayed home rather than going to a friend's house. Maybe we would have had more of a chance, but she saw that I was a lost cause. I'm doing with whatever I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
She was just, fuck this.
Yeah, and at the time, I think us as men think we have more time than we do. And then the bus is gone.
Needless to say, like, I don't agree with the situation, but kind of understand why she left me.
Yeah, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
And that's that's a mature way to get to it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't
Would I say this 10 years ago, Pat? No.
Yeah, probably not. So like, but that's like a thing. How do we get how do we help our men in the world, our young men in the world, not go through these pitfalls? Because I went through them. You're talking about them directly. We see the outcomes. Yeah. If I would have been better, is there 100% chance it would have worked? No. But would my odds have increased?
Right.
Yeah. Would the, like you were saying before, you don't know if a bad thing leads to a good thing. If I was better then, would I have had less bad things and led to more good things later, sooner?
Right.
Like you got to play those odds like in goodness. I mean, and this is like a real in-depth touch on what's going on like in America right now. So is there like one wish you have that, I mean, aside from like being able to go back in time and do the right thing, is there like a wish as a father you could do more right now?
I mean, I would say if I had anything to do about that, it'd be like go back to that time and play the part that I should be playing. Because at that time I'm young, stupid, just don't care. Now that I'm older, that I'm like, you know what? Damn, I fucked that up.
yeah. Fuck. And then it's too late.
Yeah.
Not that it's funny to laugh about this.
I know.
But it's like the term with the realization,
I
like
know.
how stupid we are as like a species. But like you gotta be like, you gotta be able to like laugh at it. Like 'cause we're fucking morons.
Yeah.
We're morons, a lot of us.
Yeah.
So like how do we because I was a fucking moron for decades. But it's like the things you're touching on now, like for some reason, thank God I waited so long to like get there with my wife. Like I am not perfect. We fight, we battle, but like
Right.
the same things you're knocking on is like if I could have been better at certain things. So like, and I saw how shitty my life was when I was a child and all the things like that. So I've like really tried to instill that now into my family.
So it's funny because now like I'm coming back to that time of like, how did I fuck this up? Is like, you know, she would come over my house and then I'm sleeping on the couch.
Disconnection.
Didn't pay, and then she's hanging out with my mom. And that just didn't just happen once.
Yeah.
And I'm not like that now because my mind's in a whole different place now. But at that time, didn't give a shit. Right?
Would you say there was fear involved in those decisions?
No, I would just say didn't take it seriously. I was just don't know and just being selfish.
Yeah, but why would you go to the couch? Like, could you have slept next to her?
Shit. It got to the point that I was working a serious job. Maybe I was doing a project and at that time I didn't know how to separate work to personal life. So it's like
finding that balance. Yeah.
So I'd just come home, just be like, fuck it. And then just start, say sleep on the couch. She comes over and this could even be before the baby. And she's coming over and I'm like, what the hell is this?
So you're telling yourself you're tired from work. I need to rest. I need to do these things. And she's there like looking for attention. I did that same thing.
Like that's not a good fucking like thing to put in her mind. She's like, what the fuck is this?
So I almost made a huge mistake doing that same thing. Right. So when my twins were first born, obviously I was out of shape. I was like fucking tired all the time because I'm carrying around fucking 400 pounds. But it's like, the first couple of months, I didn't even realize I was a dad. Like, yeah, I saw my kids there. I knew they were mine, but I'm like, it didn't sink in. Like this is my dad shit. And then the other part about it is I might've left her hanging a little bit, like taking care of the kids. Cause I was still focused. Like I went to work. I needed a nap.
I know.
Like I did that same shit.
Yeah.
And she fucking yelled at me one time and I was like, oh fuck. And then like that started to like wake me up.
You're not playing a role.
And then it like, I didn't play the right role. And I was being selfish and I was like more worried about my well-being. And the fucked up part is I'm less tired. I get tired, but I'm less tired now doing more.
Yeah,
I think
now you want to do more.
Yeah. Just like, look at what we're doing now.
Same here, dude. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I can go back, I'd be like, this is great. I got something to do. I got something to take care of. And like, I'm looking forward to this.
I totally embrace it. So like, I went through that same mental thought process. Like, oh yeah, she's got it covered. Like I worked all day. Like I want a nap because that's how I lived when I was in my 20s. And it didn't fucking matter. I can go out, drink, come home, sleep in my thing. Right. It didn't matter, whatever. But like, I had to come there and I probably would have almost lost my wife in the same situation. Like this guy's not giving a shit. Yeah. But thank God I had an awakening.
Exactly, Pat. If you did the complete opposite of what you're doing, she wouldn't stay with you.
Why?
She'd be like, what the fuck is this?
But even then, that's a bad decision because then she's starting out. Now we're both split. Like, right. And this is where accountability comes for men. I think this is the point of this whole thing is we need to realize sooner our accountability as men.
Yeah. Because I can say I'm not a perfect person.
No one is.
Maybe
Jesus,
at 22, I was perfect. But even now, just not even without the child thing, it's just like I learned that no, dude, I am not perfect. I'm probably not right half the time, but back then, no, I'm always right.
Yeah, we think that. We think we got the answers.
Now I'm like, no, I know. Like I'll agree. Like, no, I'm not right.
Yeah, but you can't fall too much into that.
Yeah,
because
you gotta take accountability.
Yeah, but you can't fall much into like I'm not right because a lot of dudes do that too. They turtle up. and they're like, I'm not right, and then they don't put up the fight for what is right. So then
Right.
they're not chasing like the righteousness
Yeah.
for their kid and for themselves. And I seen that like so often, and like that's one of the things. Like me and my wife don't fight about like being lazy or fucking. She might say you didn't take the garbage out or
You
something
might have
silly.
a day that you need to chill, right? But she
like,
knows that, but like not every day.
The
though.
fights I've had in my other
No.
relationships was me being a piece of shit. The fights we have now is like over how well we want our kids to be.
Yeah.
It's a fucking total. It's the same yelling, but it's a different thing. Like we're fighting about like, you know, he's better get his ABCs correct, and you should do it that way, and you should do it that way. Like we're not fighting about being assholes. I mean, we might fight like you had a little bit of an attitude because we're human.
Yeah.
But that has switched. So I remember every other relationship I was in as a man, I was fighting against them, trying to justify me being a piece of shit.
Right. Yeah.
So like,
I mean, maybe other moments that maybe she was a piece of shit. But
it's
because it
two-sided.
goes both ways. Most of the time, it's the guy's fault. You know what I'm saying?
So here's you're hitting it perfectly. So here's where it comes down to: if there's two parties both saying that it's the other one's fault, it's going to be a constant battle.
Right.
Us as men to be the leaders have to bite the fucking bullet and just fall on the sword and say it's our fault, and then be real men and work harder and outdo it to win.
Yeah.
I fucked up. Yeah, you're giving me a hard time. Yeah, it's this. And this is the whole point of this podcast, is to get over that fact of blame game and doing and everything else, and just no matter how it goes, just taking all of it.
Right.
Carry all of it.
Yep. And it's not just your girlfriend or a wife. You got maybe your mom, maybe your dad, or maybe your friends chipping in, going like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
It's all of it. It's all of it. That's one thing I've learned in the last few years, and that's
my
whole life has changed.
And then you got to deal with that bullshit.
It doesn't matter anymore.
It's not even just you and her. You got to deal with the bullshit behind all that.
Yeah, it's all. It sounds like counterintuitive because we're like, even if you're not wrong, you could be like, yeah, and you try to, but then you get sucked into the game of saying who's not wrong.
Yeah.
I learned in the last few years to just be like, fuck it, it's all me.
Yeah.
Throw it all on me.
Yeah,
and then you would be amazed how much shit changes when you do that.
Yeah.
It's like, throw it all on me.
Yeah.
Throw it on. I'm a man. I thought we were supposed to be fucking men. Like throw the burdens on my back and let me fucking carry them. Do I want to cry at times? Yeah.
You ever see those pictures of like a show? It shows like a wolf.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of arrows in the back. Like it's been shot at a bunch of times, but it's still fucking walking and shit. I think like men with children that are separated in a way because they hold all that shit on their back. I'm still walking, but I got a bunch of arrows in my back.
Yeah. I've been shot, beat up, dragged through the mud.
Yeah.
That's a good metaphor.
Oh yeah, man.
The arrows in the back. The arrows in the back of the wolf.
Yeah.
But the wolf is supposed to lead a pack.
Yeah.
Even with the arrows in your back.
Right or wrong, you gotta know where you.
And I think that's where the disconnect in our culture is right now, especially with men. We have become dudes that bitch about shit. And I can't fucking. I used to probably be one of them. I didn't bitch a lot because I was always like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. But everybody's bitching.
You know what? Like,
shoot me in the fucking back, I'm gonna lead the pack. Like, we need more of that.
You know what is like life is hard, you know this. We all work or somewhat work, and you gotta you wake up, you go to work, whatever you gotta take care of after that, fine, but it's the same shit every fucking day.
And everybody's doing it.
And then one day I'm happy, one day I'm sad, one day I'm mad, whatever, right? But
victim to your emotions.
But we all have to get through it somehow. And yeah, some days are better than others. You know, but some days are rough. I'm not gonna lie, and it could be not even about anything. It could just be fucking exhausted. You know?
Yeah, but I I even have to work on it. I have to fucking tell myself, like, yeah, I'm exhausted. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna work out. Yeah, I didn't make a sale today. Yeah, the bills are coming in. Yeah, this is going on. Yeah, my wife's yelling. Yeah, my kid fucking smashed his head into a wall. Like, yeah. There's things, and it's just like I could be like, man, oh, you're yelling at me, and I'm doing all these things. Like, I've gotten to the point now, like, where it's like just throw everything on me.
Yeah.
Throw the fucking straw on the camel's back.
Yeah.
And there's not going to be one that breaks me. Unlike the camel that gets broken, I don't want to be the one that breaks. And I think that's where we need to get men to be at. Like, I've stopped bitching.
Yeah. I would say
I've stopped bitching. Like, I stopped bitching.
It's not just the bitching part. It's just more like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I'm wasting time
what are you
complaining.
Bitching about?
You still got to do it.
It's
nothing. It doesn't fix
it's
anything.
Just like, this is not going to bring us back together.
Nope.
Like,
it's not going to make you love me more.
And me yelling or saying anything nasty. Where the fuck is that going to put me?
That's exactly the point. We have to get through that. There's a separation inside of the minds of men right now.
You want to hear some crazy? Because I just thought about it. Was like in the beginning of our breakup that maybe I was name calling her. And
I really, you could ask a lot of my women in my life.
Yeah.
I've broken the rule a few times,
right?
But I've never really name called my women.
Exactly.
Not that I'm 100% with it. Like I've done it to my wife once or twice, and maybe one other or two other women. But I've had women that even in dragged out fights, they're like, "You're the only guy that's never called me a bitch or a cunt."
Right.
And I worked really hard at that, because you're a reflection of me.
Right.
Like if we're fighting, it's probably because I did something wrong. But also, even if you're doing something wrong, why would I stoop to a level to call you a name?
You know what it is? I think because you're upset, you're mad, you don't know how to handle it at the moment, because everyone handles their things differently.
It's a fight or flight.
Maybe like, again, out of anger. But I think at the point at that time, because it's not recent, but I was name calling her, and then like, say her grandfather would text me, great guy, he's still alive, really fucking good guy. He would just be like, no, I know you're going through a rough time, I understand that, but just please don't name call my granddaughter. And after he says to me, I never did it again.
Yeah, I always like.
He wasn't even mean. He didn't threaten me or anything like that. But just something.
He just said it to you.
If you met him, Pat, you would love him. He's just like that grandfather everyone should have, you know. But he just nicely put it out there, and I know him as a person to be like, I'll do that for you.
No, you should even do it for yourself. Like
seriously, I did it for myself, but I also did it like.
It's respect.
I'll do that.
You gotta have respect.
I'm sorry, I got out of line.
So I've been really mad at myself the few times I've
haven't
called
done
women.
That since then.
No, but I've gotten to fights with 50 girlfriends, and I've never I've had women be like, "You're the only guy that's never called me a bitch." I'm like, well, I don't do that. We're arguing and all that, but I don't have to stoop to like.
Bitch would be that bad.
But no, but you know what I mean. Like any derogatory, the C word, whatever.
The C word, yeah.
You know, or anything even more than that.
It's out of anger.
I know.
That
goes back to taking those arrows.
Is one no.
No, but it goes back to taking those arrows like the wolf you're talking about. You just got to eat them. Like, and I'm not perfect, so yeah, I've called my wife a name or two, but like it took me like forever until it was like a dire situation. And then as soon as I said it, I'm like, I'm a fucking garbage bag. Like, what am I doing?
I think at this point, if I'm going to call anybody anything, it's asshole, just because it fits perfectly with any situation.
It kind of does.
It's better than bitch or say like cunt. You know,
nah, you say
but
that. Well, don't go to Ireland because they'll cut you all day.
I think when you call someone like, whatever, asshole, like that means more than say you're a bitch or a cunt. I just think when you call someone an asshole, they kind of sit there and go, I can't believe that guy just called me an asshole, especially a girl, because they're not used to being called asshole. You know what I'm saying?
So the rarity of it,
but all due respect, but all due respect,
that's a rare one,
but,
you know.
And you're at that point of anger and being mad.
I mean, none of us are perfect.
I think that's more appropriate than the other two words. You know?
Yeah, I try not to. I try not to do that.
I know. It doesn't get anywhere, and it makes.
I'm mad that I let myself get so angry that I would cross that point because I worked so hard for years not to.
But you know what it is, dude? Like, it gets to the point that's like, even when, like, say we have an argument, we don't even curse because we're like, it doesn't get you anywhere.
I mean, we say the F word like crazy,
but-
but we're not calling each other names.
No,
right?
I say F word all the time. But when you're fighting and you're name calling or out of anger or I wouldn't say bullying, but it doesn't get anywhere. It actually makes the situation
No,
worse.
and it makes you weaker because you're attacking the person with like shallow jabs.
It worse. It makes things worse. Like if I didn't,
Yeah, because now you're not arguing about what you're arguing about. Now you're arguing about the name calling. So now you got two arguments.
Yeah, no, it makes things worse, dude.
It does make it worse. It
You
makes it a
know,
lot
like-
worse. So I think you fucking nailed this. Is there anything you want to say to the men out there, single dads from split relationships that like you want to get into? Like just say like any advice you can give?
I would say I know it's tough in the beginning. Just kind of just brush it off. Don't make things worse. Even if you feel like you should say something, don't even say it. Let it be. Let it be because it's not going to get anywhere, and it can potentially put you in a worse place than you were before. So is it even worth it? Is it even like, no, you're beating a dead horse. And you're back at square one. At the end of the day, you have a child to take care of. And don't get me wrong, I had a very turbulent roller coaster road, and a lot of it was self-inflicted. I did to myself. And in other situations that the guy didn't do to themselves, it just maybe the girl you met wasn't the right person, you know. But you have to keep on keeping on and doing the right thing. And
take those arrows in your back.
You have a child to take care of, and take care of your child. At the end of the day, you're like I said to my son, like, listen, I'm in your life. I missed a couple things, but most of it I'm in your life, and that's it. Just keep an open door policy with your child and make the best for the child's mom and the stepdad. And that's all you can do. Move on, meet a different girl, be happy because they're happy. No, go out and be happy yourself. Like,
so you know what you have to do now, right?
What's that?
You got to do the tradition.
What's the tradition?
Tradition is you end the show by sitting on the table and looking at the camera and being like, "This is episode 15, and we've had a great time." You got to do it. This is part of the tradition. You got to sit right here, say thanks for watching the People Podcast.
Thanks for watching the PM Podcast, episode 15. With my boy Pat.
We're here, baby. Noel's representing. This has been episode 15. All you guys out there were kicking ass for. Let's go, baby. 1515.